Troubleshooter extraordinaire. A few Malaysians, especially those who lived through a 1960th century and 19th century, will dispute that Tun Daim Zainuddin was of the most pivotal figure within the then Prime Minister, Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad's administration. The latter is, of course, much beloved and Malaysia's current Prime Minister too. Yet even he was never shared from openly praising and acknowledging Tun Daim Zainuddin as one of the sharpest policymakers that helped define the golden era of Malaysia's growth from the backwater third world nations to one of the Asian tigers. Born Abdul Daim bin Zainuddin in the northern Malaysia state of Kedah in 1938, Tun Daim is a formidable interrupter and former politician. So formidable, Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad made him finance minister of Malaysia from 1984 to 1991, during which he shaped some of the most controversial yet influential policies. But even before he assumed the post, the older generation of Malaysians may recall how the Malaysian government announced its buy British loss in policy in 1981, a manifestation of a new nationalistic spirits as the country attempted to break away from its colonial past. Yet, even to this everyday, not many Malaysians are aware that it was Tun Daim who orchestrated the restorations of ties with the British government behind the scene. This statesman's political career was only truly launched, however, when he contested and won the Kuala Muda parliamentary seat in 1982 general election. His rise to prominence was indeed meteoric, as Tun Daim found himself finance minister within a span of just 2 short years. It was no bed of roses, though, for Malaysia was not spared. The full impact of the global recessions in 1985, Tun Daim was also compelled to deal with the many abuses involving the local financial institutions brought about by lack of proper regulation. Then, suffice to say, Tun Daim's takeover period was one admired with scandals, crises, and failures. The country's finance were not calling for someone who would just step along. It needed a rescuer, and a brilliant one at that too. Long story short, Tun Daim restricted monetary policies and financial management, coupled with a curtailing of expenditure to suit income, more than ruffles further across the administration and country. Yet, by 1989, Malaysia had successfully paid off some 6.8 billion ringgit in foreign debt earlier than scheduled, and indeed a record repayment for a developing nation. Proving his critic wrong time and again, even foreign publications, the likes of the Far Eastern Economic Review, had to admit in 1988 that it was Tun Daim's first fiercely maverick management style that had contributed conspicuously to Malaysian economic recovery. In fact, they rescued the Malaysian economy not once but twice from a near collapse, restructuring it by breaking the quagmire of a link between race and wealth that in itself took tremendous courage. But what makes Tun Daim a hero in his own right is not only because he dared to be different. He was already an affluent, self-made businessman prior to wading into the oft-treacherous water of politics. He didn't need to limelight the pressure that invariably accompanies a position of prestige. The real Tun Daim, as you will read in this biography by Australian-born writer Michael Bachmann, is one of the most private and contentious of individuals, and real heroes are often those who, despite having their act of valor, remaining unseen and content to bask quietly in knowledge that they did well and did right their ways.